Welcome to Euphoria and the second episode of our miniseries using Free League Publishing's Coriolis, The Great Dark, a dark and nihilistic game exploring the cosmic expanse of a harsh and often uncaring galaxy. Be aware that the following content warnings for this stream include allusions to death, cosmic horror, moments of threat and peril, body horror, loss of limbs, and substance abuse. Now, it is my pleasure to bring you some of the best role players in the business. But before we meet them, you can follow Euphoria on all of their socials, all of which you can find via the links below. Please follow them. They have some incredible work coming up, and they have a wonderful back catalogue featuring some truly incredible performers and storytellers. Check them out. You won't be disappointed. But speaking of incredible storytellers, who do we have in front of me? Let's go around and meet our incredible cast for the final time. Drac, would you like to introduce yourself?
God, that sounds so menacing. Hi, I'm Drak with Drakoniques. You can find me on all socials at Drakoniques. That's Drakoniques. That's all socials, including the one that is the new social thing as you're watching this, probably. I don't know if it's going to stay consistent or it's going to change, but right now, I'm mostly on Blue Sky. And today I'm playing Chidi Abara, or just Doctor, or Doc. Whatever other iteration you can think of. If you can get creative with it, give it a go and see how she responds.
And Fiona. Hi, Fiona.
Hi, sorry, I'm dealing with some cat issues. But whilst I'm doing that, my name is Fiona. I use she, her pronouns. I am a white woman currently in an orange jumpsuit with sort of mid-length blondie browny hair and glasses on. And today I will be playing Hester Reeve, anxiety as a concept, but also just a very young individual put on a ship. And was also our bird handler for this delve, as it were. And yeah, nothing bad will go wrong. Yes, I've said it. Done. So it has to happen. Nothing happens now, and we just turn
Well,
around and we go back.
That's how it
That's what
works.
happens. Yeah.
Nothing bad will go wrong, but lots
Oh,
of good
yeah.
things will go wrong.
And that is anxiety right at work, right there, friends. And you get your words mixed up.
And Kash. Hi.
Hi, I'm Kash, as you just said. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm a biracial woman in a little orange room, apparently. My light is really off. I don't really know why, but we're just going to ignore it. And if you look very hard for me on social media, you might also find me. I do a lot of TTRPG stuff. And that's about all I'm going to say. I'm very excited what's going to happen.
And finally, Darcy. Hello.
Hey, hello, hi, how are you? Is this another check-in? We're just going to chat again and not
Yeah, just another
get to
chat.
the... Yeah. No, I'm good.
Yeah.
I use they, she pronouns. I am a white, femme-presenting, non-binary person, and I'm one of the co-founders here at Euphoria. I had to think of my own company name. That's not a good sign. I'm playing Ilmarinen, or Ilma, he, him pronouns. Criminal background, trying to go straight, not doing a very good job of it. Just here to try and better himself. Genuinely wants to make the universe a better place. Don't know if it's going to go very well.
I don't believe him.
I guess we'll find out. And I am Edward Spence. He, him, very pale skin, gingery beard, more ginger than I would like, and long wavy brown hair. And I am your GM for this game. And a tremendous thank you to Free League for allowing us to embark into the unknown as we delve one final time into Coriolis, the Great Dark. Chapter 2 Eurydice. From Ship City, they have set forth, aboard a vessel known simply as the Orpheus, gathered by a man called Victor for a delve into the Great Dark. A motley explorers guild crew have ventured out in search of an alien mass in this vast horizon. All have their reasons for doing so, but not all have been revealed. And now, as they approach their destination, a vast alien artifact floating through the dark depths of space, a message has come over the radio. A signal, a distress signal, coming from deep within the artifact that they orbit. A distress signal that does not just simply belong to another Explorers Guild ship, but from the Orpheus. We love you very much. We love you very much. We love you very much. We love you. This echoes all around the ship's bridge, over and over and over and over. And Sylvana, Jeremy, your daughter, just looking at you and then at the speaker, just immediately goes forward and just presses the button. We love you very... And there is silence once more. What was that?
I fear it was me. I don't know. It was a message I recorded for your father, and I thought I had it stored away in my pocket, but I may have done something else to it. Come here, Petal. Come here. And if she comes, I'll grab her by the arm and kind of press the arm a little bit tight, and I'll try to pull her into me if she lets me embrace her. And then I look through the room.
As you say petal, can you make an empathy check for me, please?
Yes, I can. Okay, I have 4 dice for empathy.
Mm-hmm.
Can I help in some way?
Please do.
Is empathy the one thing that she's great at?
So, if you are helping, how is Chidi helping in this moment?
From what I understand, Savannah hasn't been on a delve before. This is Savannah's first delve. So I think I will not interject, but kind of add on preparing messages like this before a delve is standard practice. It's just something we do in case the people we care about deserve to know.
Jeremy, add another dice.
Okay. I've already rolled the others, and there's no 6, so I have 1 chance.
Come on.
I rolled a 1.
Okay. You have the opportunity to push your roll if you would like, which would mean re-rolling all dice that are not a 1 or a 6.
Okay. I think in this instance I will do it and hope for the best. Is there possibly a bad consequence for me?
I mean, hope is very much the operative word, because if you re-roll and you basically you will lose a point of hope for each one that is rolled on your dice.
Okay. So let's re-roll 4 dice. And I rolled no 6, but also no 1. So I lose 1 hope or none?
1 hope.
Okay.
1 hope. As you watch the moment the word leaves your mouth, you just see your daughter immediately just like straighten up and... I know what it is, but why is it coming over our radio? And she looks around at the rest of you, ignoring her father entirely.
Honestly, your guess is as good as mine. Victor, do you have any idea?
Well, and he just presses himself off the dashboard as he looks out towards this large, vast obsidian structure that floats before you all. Well, like Jeremy said, if it's your recording, then I don't know, maybe our signal got stuck, or I don't know, maybe it's some kind of echo. I don't know, but we're alone out here, so I don't know.
Old ship like this, it could be anything. The signal, it might have picked it up on a wireless transmission. It could be any amount of bugs. There's a fairly reasonable explanation, I'm sure.
Precisely, exactly. It's good to have someone with their head screwed on.
Yes, it is.
Well, all that aside, and you see Victor's eyes just flick over towards the dashboard where you can still see, albeit silently, the distress signal repeating over and over and over before his eyes flick to you, Hester. So, I guess we'll be there in around half an hour by my estimation. So, I suggest we get ready. Anyone who has delving suits, put them on, and Hest, get your bird ready, okay?
Yeah, sure.
Atta girl. Okay. And he just pats you on the arm and walks past you and out of the room, leaving all three of you on the bridge, all four of you on the bridge, with Sylvana, Talia, and Izzy still at the driver's station, just looking around.
Go over to a terminal and investigate the distress signal. It's still going off. Silent, but it's still going off.
So if you can make a logic check for me, please.
3 6s.
What would you like to know? I'll give you three pieces of information.
I would love the coordinates of where it's coming from, if that's possible. How long this has been going? How long this distress signal has been going off for? Is it just like a classic SOS, or is there anything else attached to it other than obviously German's message?
So I would say, in reverse order, it is just a classic SOS. It's just a cry for help, basically just a beacon to let people know we are here, we require help. It's fairly common practice in Explorers Guild. Although I will say that with the amount of successes you have, something that you note about this signal, it is not a current Explorers Guild signal for help.
Interesting. Okay.
In terms of how long this has been going, around, you would wager, looking at the code, probably around 15 years or so. And in terms of where it is coming from, this is harder to tell. Flickering in and out as this distress signal does. But even through the static, as you turn dials and you almost tuning like an old-fashioned radio, many of which still exist upon Ship City, you realize that wherever this is coming from, it is from the heart of the structure in front of you.
Well, I've got some good news and bad news. Good news is we're not going to have to worry about anyone being in danger already down there, because the bad news is they're likely already dead. This signal's been going on for about 15 years, from what I'm seeing. So if it hasn't been stopped, it's either the people got saved or they didn't.
Well, let's hope it's the first thing. That does not sound promising.
Considering that no one's found this place other than us, I unfortunately doubt is the first option.
Hester, is there any possibility that you could use your bird to scout the premises a little bit from, well, the safety that we are, presumed safety that we are in right now from here, or do we need to get closer?
Unfortunately, we have to be a lot closer. Toro can only go so far, and again, we're, so the closer we are, the better. And but I agree with the good doctor. It's I think just maybe we should just be cautious.
I agree.
That's what I've been saying.
But I can go get suited up and take Toro out for a little walk. I'm sure that'll be fine.
We're not getting cold feet here, are we? Looking around the room at everybody, looking really concerned, trying not to look concerned.
Can everyone make an insight check? And we'll see how everyone looks at this point.
Okay.
Nope.
Yeah, pretty good.
I rolled 2 1s and a 2.
I rolled 2 6s.
Okay.
I rolled 2 1s as well.
1 6.
So, Hester,
Mhm.
who is one person you want to know how they're doing, and German, you can pick two.
Ilma, obviously. I want to know
When
what
you
Ilma's
read that.
thinking. Yeah.
Terrified, but trying not to show it, and more terrified that you all will get cold feet.
Okay.
I would like to know how Sylvana, my daughter, is doing, and I would also like to know how Hester is doing, because I think German will think to himself that we really need Hester to be on top of her game, to use her bird to scout the area. So he wants to make sure that she's not. Yeah.
I think Hester's obviously quite concerned about the message that you got, for sure. But I'll be completely honest, she's always nervous, so it's very hard to tell if this is more nerves than anything. So yeah, so it's still like sort of like it's not full on meltdown. Oh my god, what are we doing? But it's definitely like so it's I think it's still balancing on that precipice a little bit.
So
That's
I
what Hester's
think
doing.
if he picks up on this, I think he'll come a little bit closer to you and, like, very slowly place his hand on your shoulder and press it a little bit and say, "You're going to be fine. Believe in yourself. Believe in your bird."
Thank you, thank you.
Now, Jeremy, you have triggered something mechanical. Would you like to roll an empathy check for me, please?
Yes.
Ooh.
4 on empathy still. Okay, I rolled 2 6s, which are canceled out by 2 1s.
So,
not
they're
cancelled
not cancelled out. They
Okay.
still stand. So you're
All
okay.
right. Okay.
But as an action, and this will
Mhm.
be important going forward, each of you can choose to make an empathy roll towards another player. And for every success that you get, the other player, and in this case that is you, Fiona, recovers an equal amount of hope.
Ooh,
So,
nice.
Hester, as this man, this grizzled individual, stands before you, hand on your shoulder, you cannot help but feel a warmth from his eyes, and you recover 2 points of hope.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, so thank you. I appreciate it.
Don't worry. I know the first delve can be a little bit concerning from time to time, but we are in this together, and you've been training with your bird for a very long time, so don't worry and trust in your abilities.
Thank you. I will.
And as she says this, Jeremy, just over Hester's shoulder, you see over by the driver's station, Izzy and your daughter, Sylvana. She wears an expression that you have not seen often. It is stoic, hiding what she can. But there is a determination in her, not fear. Maybe youth does not permit that, inexperience also, but she seems ready. As she just leans down and kissing Izzy on the cheek, he just looks up and goes, "Stay safe, okay? Stay on the comms." And Sylvana just nods and permits herself a small smile before turning to the rest of you and, "Okay, I'm going to go suit up." And she heads on out.
It's a good idea. We all should. Chop chop.
Yep. Okay. Just toddle on after Savannah. Maybe a bit too quickly. Just like, oh, got to do something.
Doctors takes their time. Just takes their time to walk down to suit up.
I think, German slowly follows Chidi. He takes a second to kind of recover from the small kiss on the cheek that he just witnessed, which he didn't previously understand there was a thing between his daughter and the captain. And now he's a little bit confused.
Incredible.
Do I notice this?
Ooh, make an insight check for me.
Can I
Okay.
help? Because I think you would definitely
if
notice.
you just want me to notice it, I can just notice it. Oh yeah, 3 6s. Yeah, I notice it. This is you, German. I know German. I kind of watch. I think I see the kiss and immediately look at German because I'm like, oh, I didn't know this. I don't know if he did. So I look and notice the expression on your face. I don't say anything, but I do clock it. And I'm like, I'll talk to them later as we go. Suit up.
Ilma, as you head on out before the rest of them, following in Sylvana's footsteps, you just see off to one side, almost half into a delving suit already, and not yet putting on the perfectly spherical glass helmets that accompany these suits, you see Victor. And as he looks up at you with this very thin, emaciated face, he just. Oh, hey, Ilma, you, mind if I have a word?
Yeah, of course. Step over to where he is.
And as bodies begin to move past the two of you, silhouetted against the flickering halogen light, it is cramped in the ship, and very often you have to make way for one another, and so the two of you are almost uncomfortably close as people just pass by. I just wanted to say, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad Hest could bend your ear.
Yes. She had to bend it quite hard, but this is exciting. This is huge. Where did you get this information?
I ask you the same thing.
What? Sorry, what do you mean? I didn't know this was here. This was your...
Look, I'm and he just looks around and then just leans in. I'm not an idiot. I'm a survivor, and that's because I know a fucking predator when I see one.
Who?
You think I've not spent enough time in the shadows of Ship City to know who you fucking work for, Ilma?
Everybody knows who I work for, Victor. And whether you realize it or not, that's why you need me to work for you. Because I'm a survivor too.
I'll choose to believe you. But, I want you to know, if I don't get back on this ship, Izzy's being told to leave you here. So, my survival is in your best interests if you're thinking of trying anything funny.
I'm not a very funny man. Don't worry. I'm here to make sure we all get back safe and rich. And I'll just, like, give him one of those on the cheek. A little bit too hard. Buck up! And walk off to get ready myself.
Can you make an empathy check to see how
I get to roll 2 whole dice for empathy. Oh shit, I got a 6. I got a 6 and a 2.
you see a flicker of doubt in his mind before he just nods as you walk away. But as you do so, Ilma, and as you see the others beginning to suit up, you see that Victor's eyes, they do not leave you. What is everyone doing to prepare as the next half an hour slowly stretches on?
I think as I'm suiting up, I'm by Jeremy, and as beneath my breath as possible, just so Jeremy can hear, I'll go, Izuku and Sylvana? Did you know?
Yes, I'm not sure what I saw there. I'm still trying to grasp the fact what my eyes perceived. I cannot say I am unhappy for her, but yes, Doctor, I'm sure you understand that my feelings are not quite clear on how and why let's not talk about it anymore. Is this thing working? And then I press on my comm link on the side of my head. And I think German just kind of, slouches over and puts on his exo suit, tries to fix a little patch on it, and then he'll just go very quiet.
About Chidi's not going to push it. The moment they're like, let's not talk about it, Chidi's like, okay, and just goes back to suiting up as well.
As you do this, Chidi, you just, as you struggle a little bit with your helmet, bringing it down, you just see in front of you just two hands just come out to help you with the clasp. And as you look up, what color are Talia's eyes?
Green.
No, they're not. They're brown, weren't they?
The swan.
Or blue, or... Oh, okay, maybe I'm wrong. They were grey. Or green, you said.
I think so.
You think, or...
Yeah, no, green. They're green.
Oh, okay, cool. She fastens the helmet around you and looks at you and just smiling, just looks at you with grey eyes, and she heads off to one side. And you can see that she goes over to Sylvana and begins to affix the helmet to her as well. And you can see that both of them are wearing Gardener's Guild patches upon their delving suits. A little more colourful, like a one sort of green spot of colour amidst the sort of slightly dirty white delving suits that you all wear. And as you all begin to suit up, Hest, what are you doing?
I think I am quietly struggling with my gloves because it's like when you try and put anything on your hands and they're so big, the buckles and stuff. So she's busily trying to do that whilst the bird is probably on her shoulder. She's like, I'm doing it, and just like it's like, and then just trying to zip up, but because they're big gloves, they're like you can't do anything with them. So I think she's just again looking a little bit lost, whilst everyone else is like clearly professional at this, and she's just like, I'm sure this is right. And well, if I die, I die. Okay. I just look a bit forlornly around.
You see that Victor is standing next to you, and just sort of hearing this last mutter, he just, hey, you're okay, right? You're good?
Yeah. Fine. Thank you.
Okay, well, and just putting his helmet on, as all of you just feel this strange absence of sound around you. The strange static of your comms, the only thing you can really hear, and the of your comms as you breathe, and you look at your oxygen levels. Enough for 5 hours, you would imagine. But looking around, and just outside this, you can just hear as the raven just sits on Hester's shoulder. And Victor just turns around and, all right, let's see what the world has in store. As slowly through all of the windows, any semblance of sunlight disappears, replaced by an absence, as you feel the atmosphere in the ship begin to change. It is harder somehow. Even through your delving suits, it is cold. Chidi, where your leg meets your prosthetic, you feel a chill, a grip, a tense grip. As Jeremy, can you make an insight check for me?
I rolled a 1 and nothing else of importance.
That soft stroking at the back of your skull, and those voices once more. Jeremy, when was the first time you started hearing these voices?
The the first time I started hearing the voices was a few months after my husband's and my delving accident that caused Marco to lose the ability of his legs. And to be very precise, the first time was on my balcony when I looked over Ship City and the voice just told me to jump and go deeper and deeper into the void. And I resisted, but ever since then I keep hearing it.
They whisper to you now as the darkness envelops the ship. It feels almost like home, as you just feel you all steady yourselves as the ship judders a little bit. Just off to one side, you watch as the ramp begins to descend, down, down, and dust rises from the bottom. And just over your comlinks, you just hear, "Okay, I've set it down. Make sure everyone keeps on comms. Make sure everyone's checking in with one another. Please try and stay together, okay? I'll stay here in the ship. If you need anything, give me a shout, okay?"
Confirmed.
Will do.
Copy that.
Okay, well, good luck out there, everyone. And the line just out as Victor just turns around to the rest of you and just nodding, just begins to step on down the ramp. What order are you all traveling in?
I think that German, without reacting to what Izzy said over the comlink, will go into front of the group and start even maybe trying to overtake Victor. And I think, Chidi, you would have most likely noticed that his eyes were really set on just going straight, and something about his face seemed a little bit off to you.
I think they would have very quickly, or as quickly as they can in their suit, kind of grabbed you by the forearm and just gave you a squeeze, just a reassuring squeeze before letting you go.
So Jeremy, then Chidi. Who's going next?
There's a moment where Hester sort of waits. No, you're right. I should be next. Yep. Just, yep. You're right. I should be there. And just walks down with the bird as quickly as she can.
I feel like Ilma would bring up the rear. He would let everybody go first.
So with Talia and Sylvana just behind Hester, and with Ilma bringing up the rear, you descend down the ramp. Coming to the underside of the Orpheus, as you step on out, dust floats in the air ahead of you, drifting through the headbeams of the ship and across the lamps that shine out from the delving suits that you each wear. These single beams of light that follow as you turn. Against the enormity of your surroundings, these white pinpricks of light seem almost insignificant, drowned out by the shadows around you. Save for the entrance you came in through, the entrance through which you can see pinpricks of starlight. You see nothing. You cannot even see the walls around you. And as for the ground beneath you, each step kicks up ashy, grey clouds of dust, exploding in the air for slightly longer than is natural. The gravity, it seems, is light in here. And you feel your delving suits compensating accordingly. And Victor turns around to you, Hest. All right, batter up.
Okay. It's actually more of a procedure, but sure. Okay. And we'll sort of get Toril off her shoulder onto her hand and sort of stroking it and sort of like lock eyes with the bird as much as one can, and sort of like, again, that sort of unspoken sort of relationship. And you see, like, at this point, this is the first time she's not been nervous or anything, like focusing on this one thing she can absolutely do. And so she's almost, and then she presses her helmet to the bird a little bit, even though there's that sort of half-inch thick glass between them. And then, not like unceremoniously, she will throw up the bird, but the bird is ready for this and sort of spreads out and starts making its way to hopefully where we're supposed to be going. But she will have like a scanner or something, like a maybe there's some sort of homing signal, so she would have it on Toro herself, like a little watch sort of beeping, so I can always keep a track of it even if they go very far from me.
There is a as this bird just flies off ahead, almost disappearing into the darkness, blending with the shadows as it flies off down. Now, what you realize is an immensely long corridor. You see that there are almost these rib cage like ventricles just stretching up into an unseen ceiling all around you. Vast, so vast. You could fit maybe 10 Orpheuses across the width of this cavern. But down this long stretch of shadow, the raven flies.
All right. I guess we can sort of go ahead. If there's anything that comes up, I'll get notified. I hope she comes back. Great. And goes back into nervous disposition, sort of background animation, so to speak.
You all walk. And as you do so, can I ask everyone to make our first blight protection roll of the game? So the way that this works, each of you have armor. You have delving suits, you have exosuits, and each of these provide armor against damage. But further to this, they also provide you protection from blight. And what the blight is impossible to quantify or qualify, but it is dangerous. It is dangerous to mind, body, and soul, and so many explorers in the past have fallen prey to it. Everyone roll your blight protection.
No successes.
One success.
No successes as well.
Is it the armor rating? So the amount of dice that we roll, does it correspond to our armor rating?
Next to it, I think.
Next
So-
to blight protection.
Mhm.
Yeah, so if you
Okay.
roll the same amount of dice for that.
Okay, and then I have another mechanical question because I
Mhm.
have the talent Rune Delver, which gets me +2 dice to all rolls when leading the way through a rune or vault. So does this count as a rune or vault?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll say that counts, yeah.
Yes. All right.
Can
So
I push my roll for this?
If you'd like to.
I'm gonna push my roll. I'm gonna push it. I'm gonna
All right.
reroll all of the die.
I have 1 success.
One success.
One success, no ones.
Okay. So Ilma and Chidi, you manage to resist whatever is hanging in the atmosphere. You feel a chill press against you, and again, Chidi, just in your leg, that tightening. Hest, there is something unnatural about this place. You do not need the surroundings to tell you that. You would know it even if your eyes were closed. And in this environment, they might as well be. But something does not sit right beneath your skin. You remove a point of hope. And German, you got 1 success, for which you are able to resist a point of blight. However, unlike the other 3, you are not rolling to resist 1 point. As that scratching at the back of your mind presses down, you nullify 1, but you are still going to take a point of blight as you remove a point of hope.
Okay.
Something scratches.
I think you all see how when German walks in front of you, he'll just suddenly stop and kind of pound his hand against his chest, and kind of you hear him like and then he'll breathe out over his comlink very loudly and say, "Oh, we should keep going. It is not safe to stay here."
You don't get a response, but Chitty does again place an arm on your back before continuing to walk forward.
You do so. For minutes, hours, days, honestly, impossible to tell. But you walk on, time becoming almost immaterial, as casting an eye over your shoulder every so often. And I would say that Hest and Ilma, being so far towards the back as the both of you are, you would notice that Sylvana especially casts her eye back towards the ship as it slowly disappears into the distance before even its bright head beams become obfuscated by the shadows around you. Talia brings her in close and just squeezes her arms, and they continue on. Is anyone keeping an eye out for anything?
Yeah, I'm keeping an eye out for whatever, any dangers really. We got a distress signal coming from the heart of this thing, so there must be something dangerous. So I'm keeping an eye out for what that could have been. Or best case scenario, the person who actually is emitting this distress signal, because that means they survived this place and there's someone that we could help here.
If you could make a perception check for me. Is anyone else rolling for anything at all?
I am keeping a lookout for my bird. I haven't paid off all the debts on it, so I need to keep it up.
2 successes.
Okay.
I'm keeping an eye out for the mercenary in me is looking for what is the value of this place and whether that is just what is this place so that we can then figure out what the value is. I'm not expecting gold coins littering the ground, though that would be nice.
Smashable vases.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out what are we doing here.
Cool. So a logic check for you. How many successes did you roll, Drac? Sorry?
2.
2. Okay. So I will say with your 2 successes, looking around and given your earlier success in identifying the signal, 2 things become apparent to you. The first of which, wherever this signal was coming from, is much further in. This structure is immense. You can tell that from the outside. And as you walk, and again, you have been walking for so very long, you venture a guess that you have not even begun to scrape the surface of this structure. But as you look down, and just making sure that your cane is moving in tandem with your steps, I would say with your other success, you notice something on the ground. Ash covers this entire structure as far as you can see. Dust floats in the air. But as you look down, you see footsteps. Heavy footsteps belonging to delving suits. Ilma, what did you roll?
So I saw the success first and got very excited. And then I saw the 2 ones after that.
Okay. Have you pushed your roll?
No. I'm
Okay,
not
so
yet going to.
Okay, so you're okay. Like a 6
Okay.
is fine. Ones are also okay so long as you don't push it. So with 1 success, as you walk through, as far as you can tell, there is nothing of value in this place. It feels almost like a mausoleum, walking through an empty cathedral with all of the lights out. But as you walk, and as you bring up the rear, and you see Hest in front of you, for a moment, you just remember the Athenian's hand upon yours, giving a gentle squeeze. As Hest, looking at your wrist-mounted gauntlet, looking for where your bird might be, suddenly up ahead you just hear a And as you begin to approach, you see that your bird is standing on the ground in front of you, and not simply standing there, but it is standing on the edge of a precipice. For the ground here, this obsidian pathway appears to just stop dead in its tracks, and you see that before you there is a vertiginous drop. Not into darkness, not into shadow, but into nothing. True emptiness lies before you. And your bird just looks to it and back at you and looks down. Even your footsteps do not echo in this place.
I'll message the others. Well, Toral's found a hole to nothing. We just should be careful. I think this place is broken up slightly. Toral, come here, and I will step towards the bird to try and get it back to myself.
Can you make an agility check for me, please?
Agility? Are you sure?
Quite certain.
Okay, so there's no successes. I feel this is important. There's a big hole. So I'm gonna push the roll. There's no ones in that, so I'm just re-rolling all 3 dice. Cool. So no successes, but I did roll 2 ones now. So
As you step forward,
yeah,
and you reach towards your bird, suddenly you hear a as beneath your feet, the very stone itself suddenly gives way at the edge, and your foot just goes, and immediately you lose 2 points of hope as you just see the darkness beyond, just reaching out and sort of falling. The rest of you see Hest literally topple over the edge as the edge of the precipice crumbles away.
Can I dive to catch
I
her?
was going to say the same thing.
Absolutely. Okay, so both of you make agility checks for me.
I have an ability, and you can. This is going to be me stretching. Going to be me twisting it to see if I can get some extra dice here. I have an ability called Sixth Sense. It's specifically for not being able to be taken by surprise. But this is technically being surprised, so can I use that to add to my
That
dice?
is a very creative use, yes. And also it's
Okay,
half anomaly. I'm not going to say no. Go for it. Ilma, what did you do?
No successes, so we're rooting for Chibi.
I rolled 3 successes.
Hest, as Ilma, as you look towards Hest and you see her just topple over the edge, you just step out and it is far too late. Hest is gone. As Hest, your hands just wildly flail upwards as you fall down and you feel something pulling, something elemental and old just reaching up. And as you reach up, flailing about, suddenly your hands grip around something as you just look and you see that stood at the precipice, Chidi holds their cane and you are holding to the other end of it. Literally just like your feet on the edge, both of you just stood this almost perfect triangle. You, Cane, and Chidi on the edge of this cliff face.
Hey, I'm going to need some help putting them up.
I grab Chibi and pull back.
I grab Chidi as well. I try to help.
Hest just falls on top.
I definitely just lay there for a good 1 or 2 seconds more than I probably should do.
Well, before our friend here decided to go for a fall, I was going to say that I found some footprints here as well. Seem fresh. They're definitely delving suits, sorry. So
You just
that
hear
is
it
stress signal back me.
from behind, and you just hear, "Is the bird okay? Is the bird okay?" And Victor just like runs forward and pushes past you all.
Yes, and so is Hester. Thank you for worrying.
Oh shit, Hest. You okay?
I'm fine. Clumsy. So clumsy. I should have. Stupid. Sorry. I'm fine. And just dust myself down and try and reach for the bird without moving.
The bird almost comically just hops over to you and lands on your hand.
We'll have words later. And then just put the bird back on my shoulder. But Yes, there's a big hole into nothing. I don't think we can go through this way.
Yeah. Stop
might have
talking.
Go
Hester.
back. Yeah. Okay.
And I'll crouch down to Hester's level. Are you okay?
Fine. Nothing more than a bruised ego. I'm fine. Thank you. Thank you.
My job to keep all of you alive. I'm
Well,
not just here to fix problems, I'm here to prevent them from in the first place as a doctor.
well, I'll nod to the cane, and I'm like, well, I appreciate you could have lost something quite valuable. So I guess there's everyone gets one, like being saved by a good doctor, huh?
Come on, I'll reach a hand down to help pick you up.
Yeah, I'll take it gratefully and sort of get up.
Jeremy, as this is happening, can you make a perception check for me, please?
Yes, I can. I think I
And
have
I will
3
say-
perception.
Ilma as well, if you could do that.
Sorry, which skill was that? Perception.
Perception.
I rolled 1 6 and 1 1.
Okay, so 1 success. So I would say as this is happening, Jeremy, and Ilma, what did you roll?
2 successes.
2 successes, okay. So, Jeremy, as you observe this conversation, you hearing mention of footsteps, you look down, and indeed you can see that at the edge of this precipice, there are a number of footsteps. It is hard to tell how many in total, how many pairs, but they too came to this area. And Ilma, from the back, as you just observe everyone just congregating, and you see Sylvana and Talia also looking on, you just turn, your torchlight slowly moving through the darkness along the edge of this precipice, and you see these footsteps also. With 2 successes, I would say that you can tell that there are 7 pairs of footprints. And more than this, as you slowly begin to just turn around, you see that around 20 feet away, looped over the edge of the precipice, you can see a number of pitons and ropes that have been slung down over the edge, leading down.
Once I see everybody's recovered and is sort of regrouping, ready to move on, I'm going to give a whistle and say, it obviously didn't go well for them, but that's the way that our previous delvers explored.
Are we following suits or making our own way?
As I say, it didn't go well for them, so...
I think before we leave, we should probably try to take some safety measurements. I have some rope. If you want, we could tie each other together. So in any case, if someone should fall again, we would be able to handle the situation much more, well, let's say more graceful than what Ilma did, and more like my good friend Chidi. Sorry, this was no time for jokes. I'm aware. I am a little bit nervous. Anyhow,
Don't
and
worry.
he'll start tying a
it.
rope to himself and then try to give the rope to someone else so that they can tie each other together with some distance in between.
You find the open hand of Sylvana, who just takes the rope and just ties herself, looking at you fairly purposefully before then handing the rope off to whoever next takes it. And as you create this daisy chain between you all, Jeremy, with you being the first in the line, are you going down first?
I think I would. I would like to ask something first. Are the footsteps that we saw right next to where this slope starts going down? Am I able to put my foot next to these footsteps and see if it matches any of the footsteps?
I won't even make you roll for it. One of them is a perfect match.
I think German will look at this And I think he somehow expected it because this is why he did it, but he still cannot grasp what it means. And he'll just shake his head and then start climbing downwards.
You descend. All of you descend. Down, down, down. Your torches, this column stacked on top of one another. As you descend, your torches move around, occasionally glimpsing the walls of this drop. And you see murals carved into the walls. Figures, large, alien, giant, encircling planets, eating moons, suns, arms wrapped around entire galaxies. It is strange, the proportions seem off, but not unlike the very design of the structure you are in. Chidi, as you descend, and you look up, and you can see Talia there. She just looks at you with her blue eyes and just nods and... You okay?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm fine. Are you okay?
Well, and she looks down towards where Jeremy and Sylvana are, looking out for everyone.
Why did you come on this?
Well, I wanted to make sure that Sylvana would be okay, and when I saw you walking down those stairs, I knew I had to stay.
Just stay close.
Your leg tightens once more. It's Ilma, descending down at the back, realizing that every single person attached to you relies on you not to lose your footing. And indeed, if anyone does fall, you will be the one to bear the weight. Looking down at the table in the bar, the Athenian pushes the file in front of you as the sound of music and laughter emanates all around you. The folder is opened. And as you look down on it, and the Athenian looks up at you expectantly, would you like to reveal what it is that Ilma saw?
For debts accrued to the Black Toad, Victor and Hester must die.
Victor just looks up. We okay up there?
Yeah, good. Sorry, this is a lot, isn't it?
Yeah, it sure is.
Really something. Are we
It's
good? Are we good?
Well, yeah, I hope so. And as he says this, can you make an insight check for me, please?
Sure. Push. I have a lot less hope than you guys. I started low. No sixes, but no ones.
Okay. He just nods at you and looks down, and so you do not see the expression that passes across his face. But Hester, as you look up, hearing this conversation above you, you cannot help but see the expression that passes across Victor's face. And that is one of abject fear. As Jeremy towards the bottom of this climbing party, your feet touch something solid, and you realize that you have reached the bottom.
I think I will take out my electric lantern, or probably would have taken it out at some point, maybe a few minutes earlier once it got really, really dark, so that we can see at least a few feet in front of us. I look around. What do I see?
Make a perception check for me.
Yes. Can I still add 2 dice to this because I'm still leading the group?
You can, absolutely.
Okay. Yes. Oh my god. I rolled a 1. Only that.
Would you like to push your roll?
Come on. Jonas,
I think
Jonas.
so. Oh my god. I rolled another 1.
Yes, welcome.
You remove 2 points of hope
Okay.
as you just see the others slowly begin to descend, and Sylvana is helping people down. And as they come down one by one by one, she just looks over at you. And as she does so, you can just hear again those voices just begin to, "It was your fault," and jump. And you just see Sylvana turn around to you. Are you okay?
Uh, yes, Petal. I mean, yes, Sylvana. I'm okay, thank you for asking. It's just that my old bones have not been on an adventure like this for a long time. But now that you're here, I'm oddly comforted, and I must say I do want to apologize for what happened before we left. I should not have said what I said. I know you're an adult now, and I have to accept that as an adult, you will make choices. For example, choices in men. And I have to man up and deal with it. So I'm dealing with it. I just need a little time.
Father, I'm not angry at you for wanting to protect me, but I don't want what happened to Dad to happen to you too.
Petal, I think I will grab her face very softly and I'll say, I would never let something like that happen again, especially not with you here. I think maybe I should even say, I don't think you will let something like this happen to me. So we're here together and we'll manage together. I love you.
She just leans forward, and against the light of everyone's torches, the 2 domes of your helmets just land, almost creating these 2 crescent moons against the darkness as Sylvana just, I love you too. So, what do you think of him?
I mean, I haven't really talked to him, but he seems like a good man.
Hey, I'm just checking in as over the radio you hear Izzy's voice. I haven't heard anything from anyone in a while. I just wanted to make sure everyone was okay. Over.
He's a little bit intense, though, but it's okay. It's your choice.
We're doing okay, Izzy. We've just gone down a pit. There seems to be signs that other people were here before us and not too long ago. Assuming that's where the distress signal's coming from. So we might actually have some people coming on board once we find them.
Okay. Just make sure you keep in touch, okay?
Will do.
Okay. Over. And the line once again goes dead as you all find yourselves at the bottom of this cavern.
As we untie the ropes and start getting ready to move on, I sidle up to Chidi. You don't really believe that, do you?
Believe what?
Well, you said to Izzy, we're going to
People
find
were here?
them. No, they were here. You don't
I
think
mean,
we're going to find them?
those footprints seem pretty fresh. With the way the ashes around in the air, the fact that we're seeing it at all means it had to have happened within the few hours. So unless something tragic happened in the past few hours, they should probably still be around.
But I thought you said the signal.
Yeah, was 15 years old. Yeah, whoever's been here, they've survived somehow.
Hadn't considered that.
I think I need to share something. I have come to the conclusion that the footsteps that we followed may have been our own footsteps. But I don't know how to. I don't know how to grasp that concept just yet. Is this even possible?
What makes you think that?
Well, when I matched my foot to one of the prints, it was an exact match. So either there's
Shoe
someone.
size?
No, not just the size, even the print.
The regulation shoes, they're all the same.
Well, I got mine bedazzled a few years ago, and even the little gems were the same.
Can everyone make a blight protection check for me?
One.
0 successes.
2
I'm
ones.
pushing it. I'm gonna push it again. 1 success.
No successes.
Okay. So, for everyone who rolled no successes, take 2 points away from your hope.
Cool.
And everyone who rolled a success, diminish that by 1. As standing in this space and feeling this almost oppressive weight upon you, you see something in the corner of your eyes. Far off in the distance, it almost looks like light. Almost. Far away, but it is there.
Do you all see that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
See what? What are we looking at?
Over there. Some light.
Okay. Well, Hest, if you want to lead the way.
Yep. Okay. And I'll just go to Tora. Okay. Next time, just fly back to me. Don't go on the ground. Okay. Just you throw it in the air. It goes off.
It just flies down, down, down towards the light. And you follow it on your wrist-mounted.
Mm-hmm.
As it flies, it comes to a stop, and the bird does not move.
A stop in midair.
Stops on the tracker.
Hit it a few times just in case. The good old on and off again.
The dot remains. Beep, beep, beep.
I think something's not right. Toril, they're stopped. I told them to come back to me, and they should come back to me. They're homing birds. I'm gonna start walking forward.
As they walk forward, I'm gonna place a hand on their shoulder and kind of guide them behind me as I pull out my coil gun and begin leading the way.
Yeah, fall into step behind them.
As you step, the dryness beneath your feet gives way to something else. Something wet. It's strange. It sort of looks almost like it gives a little bit. It's no longer stone, but as you look down and your torchlight follows down, you can see that there is a coating, almost like black vines, just undulating, pulsating, almost breathing. They do not move. They stay where they are. they coat the floor, and as you look around at the corridor, you see that so too do they stretch up and up and up. And whatever their origin, it is wherever Hester's tracker has stopped.
I'll look to Sylvana and Talia. Any idea what this is?
They kneel down, and I am going to make you roll for this. So, Drak, can you roll for Talia? And Kash, can you roll for Sylvana? For me, please. So if you can both roll either logic or insight, whichever you would rather.
Our logic and insight?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
1 success and 1-1.
1 success.
Nice.
Okay. As they kneel down, and you see them just beginning to take out their satchels and take out small scalpels and tongs, they just reach down and tentatively, at first, they just begin to slice away a little bit of the surface. It doesn't react, but you see a strange black sap just begin to ooze out and onto the ground, and very quickly, very practiced, Sylvana immediately takes out a small vial and begins to take a little bit of it before screwing it back, and holding it up to each of your torchlights. They look at it, just, I don't know, it seems it's natural, whatever it is. It could be plant life. We would have to get closer to take better samples, but does not appear to be reacting to our presence here.
Esther, what did you say your bird was?
I'll show my my little tracker on my arm. She went down there.
I'll keep moving in that direction.
Yep, I follow.
You walk. And as you're walking, Ilma, what are you doing?
Fighting the urge to run. I think very occasionally he looks back over his shoulder, back at the cliff, at the pitons, and calculates how long it would take him to get back up. I've definitely unslung my gun. I'm at the back, so unless you were checking up on me, which some people may have reason to do, probably not.
If you'd like to, Jeremy, you can make an insight check.
I would like to, I think, because I've been moved back in our order, so I think I might be closer to Ilma now. So I'll make an insight check.
Okay.
And I rolled 1 success.
You see a glance back at the cliff, and then Ilma turns back forward.
You're right there. You look a little bit worried.
You should always be worried when you're in a place like this. You should always know the exits. Always know the safest way to get out fast.
Fair. But your face doesn't say, I'm looking for a safe exit. Your face says, I would like to run for a safe exit now. Or am I seeing wrong?
Does this not frighten you, even a little bit?
It does. But you've already gone inside. There's not much to do but push forward.
And that is what scares me.
I understand. Would you like another drink? I have a little one that I always carry with me.
Might be slightly difficult to share in the current tap climates, but
yes, of course.
you can owe me that when we get back on the ship.
Let's do it like this, yes. You know, I have a little a little look that you could use.
As you say this, both Chidi and Hester, can you both make perception checks for me, please?
Absolutely.
4 successes.
Finally, a success. Oh, phew.
Okay. So, as you walk forward, eventually you come to something that you will both see. But before you do so, Chidi, as you are walking along and you are observing the strange growths all around, coating the walls, hiding the murals, many of which are of similar design to the ones you saw as you descended. For a moment, you turn to one side and you see the countertop of your bedroom and the blood on it, and you look towards it. You see a wooden cat and you just blink and it is gone. You shake your head, you look to one side, and you feel a chill in your leg. They were blue, they were green, grey, they were grey. And you look around and you can see that there is the countertop of the communal quarters, and you see the blood pulsate up. The lights go out for a moment and then it is gone. The blood is still, the table is gone. You look back to Talia. Her eyes are grey, green, blue, brown, and you continue walking forward, and there is a grip on your leg. It is gripping. There is something. Can you remember how you lost your leg? It was your fault. You lost your leg. You should have been more. Izzy was there, but you were not careful enough. You move forward. You can see that the vines are beginning to shift and move. You blink. They are still. There is light ahead of you. It is darkness. You blink. It is almost like it is burned onto your retinas. You shake your head, and it is gone. And Hester is stood in front of you, walking forward. And everything is still. As you emerge, both of you, into a room. A large, domed roof stretching almost impossibly high. And in the obsidian ceiling, you see perfectly carved windows, along with one very large, broken section, revealing a gaping, uncaring galaxy beyond. A hole large enough to your eyes, I would say, Chidi, with your successes, for a vehicle to pass through. Something crashed through here, from the outside. And through these gaps, shifting pillars of light descend down. Light from a distant sun, slowly passing across this room. As for what these dusty columns of starlight illuminate, you see more vines, undulating, black, shifting, breathing, stretching across the ashen, stony ground. And here and there, you see where these vines stretch up and out of the ground, intermingling like tree trunks with black branches lifting up like veins, a mockery of life. The structure around you floating through space, the rays of sun continuing to pass across this space. You see something else over on the very far side of this vast, vast room. Alien. Familiar. You see the wreckage of a crashed ship. An older model, boxy and rigid like a jagged arrow. And across its hull, a single word. Orpheus. And Hester, you see something also, as the rest of your party follow behind you and meet you at the entrance to this room. But before we get onto that, Jeremy, can you make an insight check?
Yes. 1 success.
You feel that stroking the back of your head just disappear as the voice is clear for just a moment. As you look around this space that your friends have arrived at, you see the trees stretching up from out of the ground. And you see something. Against the black, against a sort of off-white base, you see a single green patch of color. A badge. As lying on the ground ahead of you, breaking up the darkness of the floor, you see a dulled, dirty, white delving suit. And from out of the perfectly spherical, cracked helmet, you see multiple black tendrils bursting through bone and fabric as a tree just stretches out, still and silent. You look to the other trees and you see that this is the case there as well, bodies at their base. And Hester, in the center of this space, you see another body. But unlike the others, it does not lie. It is not covered in vines. It sits cross-legged on the ground. Its back to you. An off-white delving suit. And a perfectly spherical helmet set to one side. As upon their hand, your bird sits, and this figure strokes.
I start walking towards the figure.
As you do so, you hear a voice. Have you come to deliver me from hell?
We got a distress signal. We come to help. Are you hurt?
This has happened before. And it will happen again. And the figure begins to turn, as all of you see a very familiar face looking at you. Older, tired, gaunt, and haggard. But as this figure turns, underneath long, mousy grey hair, beneath strands of it, you see eyes of black, as like roots from a tree, crisscrossing veins stretch out from behind a much older Hester's skull. You are little more than echoes. And that is where we are going to take our break. Echoes. This last word reverberates around the space before being swallowed up in the darkness and the faint light of sun from the roof above. As the rest of you watch, Hester stood in front of another, her doppelganger, looking up at her. What are all of you doing?
I pull my Hester back behind me. What's going on? Who are you? And I turn to Hester again, my Hester, and say, call your bird bag.
Toril, and I'll do the sort of whistle and hold out my arm.
Can you make an empathy check for me, please?
I swear to God, this bird is so fickle. So was that insight? Sorry.
Let's go insight. Yeah, if you get a bonus with that, then yeah.
Oh, sure. Sorry, I couldn't remember. Yeah, all right. Well, I'm rolling 7. She says, counting. Yeah. Bird better come back to me. I mean, I did get 1 success, but there was a moment where I was like, yeah, one success and everything else failures.
As Hester just looks at you, Chidi, with these black roots that just sort of seem to pulsate, almost like blinking, as she just turns towards you. You watch as the bird just jumps across 2 other Hester's hand, and the older Hester in front of you. Just, why do you ask who I am? I'm already in your hands.
What? What are you talking about?
Sorry, it's hard to keep track of where we are in the conversation. How long has it been for you?
Nothing you're saying makes sense. We just got here.
I think she's asking how long has it been since we've left the ship, perhaps. Maybe
Barely
a few hours? Yeah.
The ship hasn't crashed yet, no. Or you would be here. Yes. I missed the bird. Fickle, isn't it? Are the others with you? Has
No.
he tried to kill you yet?
What are you talking about? Who are you?
The one at the back. The one at the back. It always starts with the one at the back.
Do I hear this?
Make a perception check for me.
Uh-huh. I don't think I do because I rolled no successes.
You stand there, just vaguely hearing the soft echo of voices that slowly become more distorted the further out they get. But as the rest of you stand there near the entrance, Ilma, what are you doing?
I had already unslung my gun, and I think as we step closer, and as this other older Hester turns around, I begin to think about raising it. I stood with the captain, and I said, Jeremy, what is that? And please tell me when to start shooting at it.
I don't know. It seems like it's an older version of Hester,
I told you were going to say that.
but we know this cannot be. So there must be another explanation.
I remember that voice. That was the kind voice. I remember that.
You remember my voice, Hester?
I'm so sorry. I didn't get to say that before the end, but I am sorry.
I do not care to know what you are sorry for. Hester, look at me, please. How did you get here? And what happened to the others?
I can't remember how many times it's been, or how long the garden has been tended. And she reaches down, and you see that one of the mounds underneath one of the trees that stretches up, you see an arm just stretching out, gloved, white and dirty, as the older Hester just sort of reaches down and pats, almost like you would pat earth around a freshly potted plant, just the base of this tree, which you see the vines of which just begin to tighten a little. I remember the first time we came, we sounded like you. And then we came again, and we came again, and we came again. And the trees grew. I'm not a gardener, but the trees grew. And then the bird died. Can you pass me a shovel? And she reaches out to nothing.
I stay. I don't move any closer to her.
And you kept coming. I was alone, again and again and again. And the more of us came, the more the garden grew. And she points. And can all of you make a perception check for me, please?
1 success.
I got no successes again. I'm gonna push it.
Oh, yeah.
1 for me.
No successes for me.
1 success, but I rolled a 1-1.
Okay.
My push roll.
Chidi, you lose a point of hope. And Jerriman, you notice nothing. Instead, focused on one of the nearby bases of the trees, you see the Gardeners Guild patch upon it, bright and green. And you turn to your side and you see both Talia and Sylvana, both of which have the same badge on. But Chidi, as you look up towards the crashed vessel on the other side of the room, and you see the name Orpheus, as the light, these pillars of light above, continue to shift around the room, you see them begin to illuminate something else. Another ship, and the word Orpheus. Hester, you look across the other side of the room. Another ship crashed. Orpheus. Ilma, you see another ship crashed. Orpheus, each in various stages of rust. And as you look around, you realize that the number of trees, there are not 7. There are not 40. There are not 21. They keep going and going, and under each one you can see a body, a delving suit, an arm, a leg, a heart, a Gardener's Guild badge. You can see that all around, over and over and over again. There are bodies stretching out. And Hester looks around to all of you. Each time, it was just me. We decided to try something different. And I wasn't alone anymore.
What did you try?
Friendship. And as you say this, over the radio, you just hear,
Hey guys, are you all together?
Yes, yeah, we are. Something's going down right now. Hard to explain, but we are together.
If you're all together, why is one of you stood outside the ship?
Do not let them in.
What?
and as you say this, the line goes dead. But, Jerriman, can you make either an empathy or a logic check? See
Okay.
whether this message gets through in time.
Oh my god. I rolled 1 success. Okay. Would it make Izzy's outcome possibly better if I rolled more successes? Do I need to push it, or is 1 success enough? I don't know if there's any type of
I'm not going to tell you.
Oh my god.
Your message has gone through, you think. But Jerriman, as you stand there, and as Izzy's voice cuts out, you just see someone tense next to you, as Sylvana just whispers, Izzy, and immediately begins to run back towards the corridor to where you have entered. And Ilma, you just feel Sylvana just run past you as just begins to run out of the room. What are you all doing?
I'm going with her.
Oh my god. I'm gonna sprint after them as well, and I'll yell, Savannah, stop!
I am going to ask everyone at this point to roll a blight protection test for me.
Oh,
Let's go.
1 success.
No
4
successes.
successes.
I got no successes. Can I push the roll on this particular roll?
You can, absolutely.
I'm gonna absolutely try my best. A success, but also a 1.
Okay, so those basically cancel each other out.
Yeah.
So everyone, as you run, and I will say Ilma, Jerriman, and Sylvana, as you run towards the corridor, you just miss what happens next. As Chidi and Hester, suddenly you just feel a tightening around your legs. And Chidi, for a moment, you just think it is your leg acting up again. Before looking down, you can see that as this conversation has been happening, vines have been growing up and slowly just rooting themselves around your respective thighs. And I need everyone to take 3 points of hope away. If you rolled any successes, discount them now. But we are now in initiative. So the way that this works.
So if we now have run out of hope,
Yeah.
what happens mechanically?
Great question.
So how many of you are at 0 hope?
I mean, it depends. You said 3. I take 3, but I got 4 successes. So how does that
So
work?
you're fine. So
Okay,
you
fine,
cancel
okay.
them out. So Jeremy and Hester,
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you both to roll 2d6s.
Oh, no.
And the first d6 is a 10, so will be measured in tens, and the other one, basically you're rolling a d66. So let's go Jeremy first.
Okay, 44.
44. Okay. I'm going to adjust this a moment because it doesn't make sense in the moment. I'm going to bump it down by 1 to a 43. You suffer 1 point of despair each round when you are within short range of whatever it is that has scared you. And the thing that has scared you in this moment, as you look on, you see Sylvana running out of view and into the shadow of the corridor, disappearing from view. This will take 2d6 days to recover from. But I will be honest with you, Jeremy. I don't think any of you have that long. As Hester, can you roll 2d6 for me, please?
Yeah. God, it's really bad being on the other side, isn't it? And having to roll your own critical injuries. Oh. Okay. 25.
25.
Yeah.
I would like you to tick off the disheartened condition, which means that every time you make an empathy roll, you -2 on all dice with that roll, as you just feel the weight of this situation pressing down upon you. And now we are going to roll for initiative. So the way that this will work is everyone is going to roll a d10, and we will act in that order. So I'm going to roll 9. Okay,
A 1.
interesting. Okay.
I rolled a 3.
I have 5.
I rolled a 9.
So the way that combat works is that we go in order of lowest to highest.
Yep.
So, Fiona,
Yep.
as you feel these vines just slowly beginning to move up your legs, and you can see Hester just looking at you and, don't worry, it only hurts at first. What are you doing?
Yep. Go with your gut. I'm going to try and reach for my Luma gun that everyone's been issued with. And I would like to shoot the older version of myself.
Okay, so roll to attack. So you are rolling your
Agility.
I was going to say it's agility. I
Right.
think it's melee
You-
ranged weapons, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
use agility, you add, and then you add the gear dice that you get from your gun, which I think
Yes.
is 2.
It's 2. I've got,
Four.
yeah.
Yes, it will be. Thank you very
Okay.
much. I was suddenly like, wait, there's strength for close combat. What?
What is the other one? All right, I'm rolling 5 in total. All right, I got 1 success and no ones on any gear dice. So
Okay,
yeah,
so how much damage does that cause?
3.
3. Okay, so you watch as just pulling out her gun, Hester just unloads this weapon as there is a, and you just watch the entire blackness of the room illuminated for a moment as you just watch the other Hester just fall to the ground, and you see that there is a large chunk of her ribcage that is just gone, and from within, pouring out, there should be entrails, but instead you just see flopping out and twisting, almost like eels, just a black vines slowly dripping and beginning to reconstruct themselves together, as it is now my turn. As looking up from this, I roll a 1, which means that this attack is going to affect all of you. So as Chidi and Hester stand there over this fallen other Hester, and as Jeremy and Ilma just dash after Sylvana, you all watch as vines slowly begin to move up, just thrust themselves out towards you, and absolutely no successes as you just each punching out of the way and running, just see these, and there is this strange, awful thrumming as Kash, what is German doing?
Ooh, I think German is still running after Sylvana, or at least where she would have been before. What does he see at the moment? What can he perceive?
Okay, make a perception check for me as you are running.
Oh my god, 4 4s. 3 4s, sorry. So nothing, no successes.
Would you like to push it?
Yes. 1 success.
1 success. You can see that towards the end of the tunnel, and between both yours and Ilma's torchlight from your helmet, you can see that at the end, where basically the cliff face starts, you can see that Savannah is already threading the rope through her harness and already beginning to just affix herself as she prepares to enter back up to the top of the precipice again. Are you doing anything else on your turn?
Oh god. No, I think I'll just start darting towards her even faster. I'll try to even up my speed. Because I don't know what. Yeah.
So as Jereman rushes forward, Ilma, you can see Jereman and now Sylvana at the end of the tunnel beginning to pull themselves up. And as you do this, you can hear another set of footsteps behind you, and turning over, you can see Victor running after you, just away from whatever is happening in there. Are you doing anything, Ilma?
I want us to get back to the ship first, and then we'll worry about everything else. So I'm just running. If nothing pops up, just running.
Cool, great. So I'm going to ask you to make a strength check for me as you reach the other side of the corridor.
That's my trap card. I get 5 dice for this. That is 1 success.
1 success. So you running forward, you can see that Sylvana has left enough rope for the rest of you. She is just sort of rappelling up as and has left enough for everyone to follow. But her primary concern is getting to Izzy as you rush to the base, and you two will be able to do this if you so choose.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna shout after her that we're coming. Just wait, we're coming, and we'll help.
Lovely. And Chidi, as you see this light just almost blinding, can I ask you to make a an insight check for me very quickly?
Insight, okay. 1 success.
1 success. Okay, you required 2, but that's fine. We'll roll with it. So unless you want to push it.
I'll push it. Push it.
God.
Okay, 2 successes.
2 successes. Okay, so you're good. So there is for a moment you feel that grip in your leg once more, and you see the blood on the table. You can see the wooden cat. It seems to be moving, almost stretching out on your bedside table, and then it is gone. And you just shake your head. And what are you doing with your turn as you see both Hesters, one stood and one on the ground?
So I have an ability called Sixth Sense, which says that I cannot be surprised. And
Okay.
these vines wrapping around me technically made that void. So can I use that as a bonus to get out of this instead?
Absolutely, you can. Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna try and pull myself out of these vines then.
Okay, so I'll say make an agility or strength check, whichever you would rather.
I'm equally good at both, and I think strength makes sense in this, so I go with strength.
Okay.
4 successes.
4 successes. You just sort of beating them back with your cane. You watch as they seem to diminish around you. Particularly, you cannot help but notice from your prosthetic leg just shying away from it as they begin to just descend down, and you push yourself back, staggering backwards. We are back to the top of the round, so everyone roll a d10 again.
I rolled a 1.
I also rolled a
Okay.
1.
Do
Okay.
we roll against each other?
Do
What
rollies?
happens now?
You can do that.
Yes.
Out of the two of you, who wants to go first?
I rolled a 2 the second time. I'll go with the 2. I'll go with the 2.
Okay, I rolled an 8, so okay, I'll go first.
Okay. And what did everyone else roll?
A 7.
I also rolled a 7.
No! Alright, I'll quick rolls off. Oh, a 10, so I think you're gonna win.
I was gonna say I'll let you go first because you're where the action is. I'm just running.
No,
so-
I'm happy to go last on this one, so don't worry.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Jereman, as you see your daughter just beginning to rappel up, and you can see that Ilma also is at the base of the rope, what are you doing?
I think at this point I'll pull out my grappling gun and try to shoot it for any point where I can attach it to somehow in order to pull myself up the wall a little bit quicker.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe even if I can try to assist my daughter in climbing, or at least stabilize her so she doesn't fall.
Okay, so make an agility check for me, please.
I rolled only 1 success.
Nevertheless, you just see this as this grappling hook just flies up in this arc, momentarily illuminated in your torchlight before disappearing into the darkness. And you feel a give as the line goes taut, and you are going to be able to climb up. It's going to take you a number of rounds, but nevertheless, you are going to be able to do it. As you see your daughter, and I will say that as you begin to move up, you are very, very quickly gaining on her, and you will be able to help her next round. As Chidi, back in the large domed room, as light reflects off the various ruins of the Orpheuses all around you, what are you doing?
I'm rushing to Hester's side, my Hester. I'm going to pull out my dagger and start cutting at the vines and say, the moment you're free, run. I'm going to cut the vines off of her.
Okay, can you make an insight check for me, and then can you make a strength check?
Insight is terrible. I'm pushing it. I didn't roll any successes. I'm pushing it. 1 success.
Ooh.
Just one?
How many times can I push? Can I push again?
Only once.
Yeah.
Yeah, just one.
Can you describe how? How are you? We'll get to the result in a moment. But how are you cutting apart these vines? Because they are tough and they are brittle and they're slowly moving up Hester's basically chest area.
I'm going down to the base where they're growing from and cutting it with my dagger. I know already that my hand's a bit too shaky to go for the ones directly on them, so I'm going for as close to the roots of them as possible, the base of them as possible.
So like right down by the legs.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you're severing Talia's leg, and then as you're moving up, you're slowly sort of and. Can you make a strength check for me, please?
Oh my god, I want to fail this. Rolled 1 success.
You just, as you are slowly making your way up and you are cutting through, and you hear nothing. You just hear the silence of the room around you. Hester, you watch as Chidi, moving forward past you, moves towards Talia. And just immediately, just very confidently bringing out this knife, just brings it down into her thigh and just like pulling it back. You see tendons and muscle and bone just sever apart as Talia just and falls to the ground. As Chidi, you just keep on cutting. You keep cutting. You need to get Hester free. You need to. It's my turn. This is aimed at all of you. Can everyone make an agility check for me, please?
One
success.
success.
Okay.
Success.
So everyone who succeeded
Go team.
avoids this. So everyone succeeds.
Oh no, I was 0. I had no success
Oh,
on
okay.
mine.
In
Sorry.
that case,
Ooh.
you take another point of hope away. Do you have any more to lose?
No, I'm still at 0. I assume I'm still at 0 from before, so.
Okay. Can you roll another 2d6 for me, please, then?
I can. I don't want to. all right, okay.
So a d66.
Wow. That is a 21.
21.
Mm-hmm.
So no effects, but though you do not see it, Hester, the rest of you turning back, you can see that as Hester is just sort of tearing at these vines that are around, you can see that the roots of her hair are slowly turning white as just shock is just coursing through her veins. As Darcy, what are you doing as Ilma stands at the bottom of this chasm?
Did you say Victor's right behind me?
Yes, Victor is, and he's going, come on, come the fuck on, get up!
Yeah, I'm going. Yeah, I'm gonna scrabble up ahead of him.
Okay, I'll say make an agility or strength check, whichever you would rather.
Get more dice for strength. Ooh, that one's cogged.
Okay.
It still wasn't a success. No successes. How do you push a roll if you're on 1 hope?
I guess you roll and find out.
Best of luck.
Thanks, Fiona. Appreciate it. Thank you. Please don't fuck me, please. Come on. I can escape. I can survive this.
Can't,
Yes.
can't legally. Free League guys doesn't do this.
One success, 2 failures.
So you do succeed, but as you rappel yourself to the rope and begin to head on up, you just feel the hopelessness of the situation. Can you roll a d66 for me, please?
Different ones. Where was this energy? That's a 66. Oh no, that's
No,
bad!
it's the other way round. Remember
That's probably
this.
really bad.
Remember this.
It's super bad, you guys. I'm fine with it, Ed. I'm fine with it.
Heck.
Ilma, as you scramble up the rope, and you would wager that you are a fair way up as you just pull yourself up and up and up. You feel your heart against your ribcage. Can you describe the last thought that runs through your head
There are
as your heart gives up?
There are so many. He's torn between not wanting to give up hope, wanting to get out. I got away from that thing, whatever it was, and we're on our way back to the ship, and if we can get there on time, but Victor's behind me. Do I let him up? Do I help him? Do I push him? I need him dead. Hester's dead. There's no way she gets out of this. I can get home. I can tell Mother that I did this right. I finally did this one thing right, and this thing that we found, it could be incredible. But that's not gonna happen. And I think the last thing he sees is he realizes his hands are losing grip on the rope. The sweat is pouring down his neck and back. He just looks up, looks back, looks at the path ahead of him that he should not have taken, and wonders if he'll get to try again.
And Jereman, as you look down, halfway up this cliff face, looking down, you just see as Ilma's eyes meet yours before rolling back. And as Ilma's body goes limp and falls, dozens of feet below, Victor is pulling himself up. Barely, he hasn't even attached himself to the rope. He's just climbing up. Come on, you motherfucker, come on! And as he looks up, he sees a shadow slowly begin to fall down as there is as Ilma's body just collides with him, and both men fall down, down, down before there is a sickening crunch as Victor's neck snaps under the weight of Ilma. And Ilma, there is only the great dark. As Fiona, what is Hester doing?
Hester has a quick look at the rules, and if broken by blight, which technically I am, I can't perform any action rolls. So I think I just struggle vainly at the vines. I don't think I can do anything. I feel like I'm almost frozen in place by my own shock of killing someone who appears to be me. And I see like Chidi like going past me, and I'm, if anything, I'm just screaming at her, screaming at the others just to leave. And what are you doing? Just go, get out of here before whatever happens. I don't think I can do any actions.
It's the top of the round. But I'm not going to ask anyone to roll. We're going to stick with the order we're in. As Jerriman, climbing up, seeing Ilma fall behind you, seeing your daughter next to you, what are you doing as there is darkness above and there are two pinpricks of the corpses below you?
I look away from the corpses and just continue to climb up the wall with my daughter. And I hope to reach the top and never come back.
As the rope moves down and down and down, and you bring your arm up, eventually it finds purchase. And as you just push yourself up, and you see your daughter doing the same, can I ask you to make a strength check for me, please?
Okay. I have a strength of 3. So since it's just my daughter and I'm in front of her, can I add the +2 for the rune delver?
Incredible.
Yes.
You
Always
can,
goes first.
absolutely. Yep.
I rolled 1 success.
You bring yourself up, and for a moment, the stone begins to give once more, just as it did beneath Hester's feet. But you just pull yourself back up over the top, and you see your daughter do the same as her helmet just hits the ground. And she just reaches out for your hand to grab you.
Yes, I grab her immediately and I try to pull her up as much as I can. Are you okay, Petal?
I'm fine. We have to get to the ship.
We need to
Father-
go. Yes, we need to go. I'll try to activate the comlink at the same time and say, Izzy, are you still there?
The rest of you hear this downstairs as Chidi, as Talia falls down into your arms. You just hear, Izzy, can you hear me? Just over and over in your comlink as Talia just, and you can see that blood is pouring out of her leg, and she is vainly, very, very weakly, just bringing her hand around to try and press against it, but you can see that blood is pouring out of her mouth. Chidi?
Wait, what's happening? What's going on? What?
It's okay, Chidi, it's okay.
No. What did I do?
You didn't, Chidi, it's fine. It was me. I got it away.
No. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna pull out my medidose, and I'm gonna try and do something. I'm gonna try to help tie the wound off something. I'm going to try to help.
Can you make a logic check for me, please?
I'm gonna use a medidose to add a gear die to this.
Yeah.
And my doctor talent.
You need 2 successes.
I'm gonna push the roll. Okay, I got 2 successes, no 1.
As you pull it off, you can see her just.
I'm sorry. I'm here.
No, it's fine. We need to get out.
Yes. I'm gonna try to. Once I have it done, I'm gonna try and pick her up on my back and start moving.
Okay, can you make a strength check for me, please?
2 successes.
Okay.
I'm gonna
You begin.
I'm gonna push 2 of these. 3 successes, no ones.
You run as you just watch the Hester in the center of the room just beginning to stand up again. Rib cages burst open as the other Hester, your Hester, stands there. I'm now going to roll to see what the creature does. So I rolled a 6.
Oh, no.
This is targeted at one explorer. This attack can be dodged. At least it could be if you could roll any dice, Fiona.
Yeah.
I'm going to roll 12 dice.
Oh.
Wait, you can't roll any dice?
If I'm broken by blight, you can't take any actions.
Yeah.
According to this thing, I need someone to help me, and that's what you're going to do.
How much health do you have, Fiona?
Health? Oh, a good 5.
What
Yes.
is the last thing you see as you feel pressing through your rib cage, puncturing the skin, wrapping its way around your organs and up through your throat and through your skull?
I think she sees Chidi leaving, and you hear her say, "Come back, come back, please." And that's it.
Your neck is pressed upwards from within. You stare up out of the broken rooftop of this structure into the dark and great beyond. And for a moment, peeking over the edge, you realize that this is the closest you have ever been to the sun's light. And just before everything goes black, you hear your voice, older, more haggard. It only hurts at first, as you explode outwards. Jeremy, at the top of the cliff face, you and your daughter are running towards your ship. You run, you run, you run, your footsteps echoing out but reverberating against nothing, as eventually in the distance, you can see 2 tiny pinpricks of light belonging to your ship. The ramp is down.
Did Izzy ever answer the comlink while we were running?
He did not.
We continue running towards the ship.
You get to the bottom of the ramp, and you can see that Sylvana is a little ahead of you, just immediately runs in, just up into, and you can see that even through the windows of the ship, you can see a shape rushing towards the pilot's station. Where are you going?
I'm following her, and I think I'm going to try to grab my gun as I'm running.
Okay. You take your gun. Can you make a perception check for me, please?
Yes. 1 success.
Okay. As you rush in, you see a shape in front of you. And the shape turns. As Chidi, what are you doing as you rush towards the cliff face? Talia is over your shoulder and you are running.
I'm just gonna keep running, and once I get to the cliff face, I'll grab one of the ropes and try to rappel myself up with Talia.
Can you make a strength check for me, please? With Talia, you require 3 successes.
I rolled one success. I'm gonna push it. I rolled 2 more successes. I got 2 more successes, so 3 successes. No
you
ones.
just as you pull yourself up and you are using all of your strength, Talia is barely clinging onto you. And as you realize that the cane in your hand is only preventing you, you just throw it down. And as you are halfway up, you just see this cane just on the bottom next to the bodies of Victor and Ilma just lying on the floor in amidst the dust. As you climb up and up and up, and eventually getting to the top, I'm going to ask you to make one more strength check for me. Just 2 this time. 2 successes are all you require.
Damn it! I want to push it again. Fuck. I rolled 1 success.
I'm going to flip a coin.
Oh no.
You've rolled 1 success, which means one of you gets to live. Would you like to call it?
Damn it. Heads Chidi survives.
As your hand lands upon the top of the cliff, and you feel the stone begin to give, you feel yourself slipping, Chidi. You cannot bear the weight of you both. And you just hear Talia whisper in your ear, "It's okay." And you just feel something push against your back as Talia throws herself off you. You do not hear the sound of impact.
I'm frozen at the edge for a few seconds, and then I scramble up the rest of the way.
When was the first time you met?
Had to be maybe 12, 15 years ago. She was working at a bar. Bar is a generous term for it, but it was very much the classic flirting with the bartender. She paid me no mind at first. And apparently back then, that's what I kind of needed. I just kept coming back. And we joked about it, but there are some days where I do think it was true that I just kind of wore her down. She says that wasn't how it went, that I did in fact charm her, that she did fall in love with me. But I think in this moment, I desperately wish that she hadn't.
Do you still love her?
Very much.
You stumble on into the dark. Is it in the ship? German. You see your daughter on the ground, just picking herself up. There is a large gash on the back of her head, and you can see that as she picks herself up, she falls back down onto the gantry again, as a figure just stands above her. And Izzy turns around. It's not her. I swear, it's not her.
Is there any way the German could have any way of recognizing his daughter against anything that would mimic her to a very, very close degree? Do you think a simple perception roll for that would be enough for her?
You are also broken, I believe.
I think I was. I gained something called despair, I think. 1 point of despair.
So I forgot this until Fiona brought it up. So you cannot make any rolls.
Oh no.
Sorry, I say from the grave.
So,
No.
so Jeremy, in this moment, as you see your daughter on the ground and Izzy above her, you're going to have to make a choice. And I won't
think
make
I
you roll for what happens next, but
I think I will hoist my gun and then, or I mean, well, I think this is what hoist means. Point it towards Izzy and shoot him.
you watch as red viscera coats the wall, and Izzy falls to the ground. And just from the pilot's room, you see coming round the corner, just Sylvana going, Daddy, no, get away from her, get away! As from the ground, you just see your other daughter just pick herself up. As outside, Chidi running towards the ship where you can see head beams just punching out, piercing the darkness. You see the ramp descended to the ground.
I keep running towards it as fast as I can. Without my cane at this point, it's more of a hobble, but I'm moving, adrenaline fueling me at this point.
Can you make an agility check? And I'm going to make an opposed one.
Okay. I'm going to push it. I rolled 1 success, I'm going to push it with that. 3 successes total.
In which case you get there before what happens next. As you get to the top of the ramp and you can see that the creature that is lifting itself off the floor, it is not Sylvana, but you can see that pressing out of the face, the mouth, every orifice that is upon it, you can see black tendrils creeping out, almost like eels just whipping up against the hair, and you can see that the creature is turning towards Jeremy. Before it acts, you can do one thing. What are you
Firing
doing?
a shot. Immediately, I almost dive to the ground and just fire a shot from the ground.
Make an agility check for me.
I get 2 extra dice from the gun, and I have the sharpshooter talent, level 2, so I get another 2. So I roll 9 die with 5 successes.
Incredible.
And I think that meets, I don't know how crit threshold works. I don't know if we're going to be using that, but I think that meets my crit threshold as well.
It does. So that means you get to roll a crit.
And it means I did. I don't, 7 damage.
Describe what happens as the creature before you explodes.
I think there's a look of it almost looks like I'm not feeling anything. My face is not stoic, because stoic almost feels like there's a sense of control behind it, but there's just no emotion behind the eyes, on the facial features, nothing. And the moment I stagger, I almost immediately fall to my knees as I get onto the ship and turn and see this creature, and on instinct, without asking questions, without looking honestly anywhere else, I reach for my coil gun, point at the creature and fire twice, both aiming for the facsimile of a head. And as it falls to the ground, pieces of roots and viscera on the walls, I think again, just running on adrenaline and almost autopilot at this time, just in a fugue state, I stand up and start pulling whatever's left of this beast off our ship. I don't speak to anyone. I don't even look at the rest of the crew. I'm just moving at this point.
Sloughs off just to the ground as Jeremy, you watch Chidi just pulling these blackened remains off down the ramp and onto the dusty ground below. You see Izzy's corpse lying opposite you, your gun still smoking, as Sylvana just slowly enters, her face ashen, her eyes wide. No emotion on her face. Chidi, you re-enter. And there is a silence that hangs over the three of you.
We need to go.
What if there's more? What if there's more?
So we need to go now. We need to go now, Jeremy. I'm going to take a seat in the pilot's seat.
Can you make a logic check for me as you take off? You require 3 successes.
Can I assist in this in any way? Is it just about controlling the ship?
You absolutely can, yes.
Okay. I will try to point you towards the buttons that I am very sure are not the right ones. So don't press those.
I'm going to push the roll again. I rolled 1 success. 3 successes. I got 1, so I do lose hope. But I'm still okay.
As the ship just begins to move up and lift up off of the ground with dust just converging underneath, whirlwinding up in all of these hypnotic patterns as the ramp also begins to lift. Both of you slowly guide the ship up and back, out, out, out into space. You see the large structure before you slowly shrinking away, not out of fear, but almost as though encircling its prey once more as it continues its strange celestial orbit. This stone-like figure wrapped in arms and a tail, screaming out into the void. The Orpheus. It leaves. Jeremy, can you make an insight check for me, please?
I rolled no successes, so I'm going to push it. 1 success and 1, so I lose 1 hope.
You lose 1 hope.
So I'm even further down than 0.
When you made your character, you told me that you were already suffering from a blight manifestation.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I suffer from the condition echoes. And I think they might come back up again.
As you stand there, gun in hand, stood next to Chidi, you feel that massage on the back of your skull once more. Jump.
Is Chidi still right next to me?
Chidi's at the controls.
I think, Chidi, I will grab maybe your forearm and press it very tightly and stare at you, and you just see complete fear in my eyes. And then I just repeat, jump, 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 jump. And then I think I pull away and I slowly start backing up. And it seems like I'm heading towards somewhere that might be the exit of a ship.
German has told me about these echoes. And being a doctor, I've encountered many patients who have, being a doctor for the Adventurers Guild, I have come across other patients who've had these symptoms or similar. Seeing them move, I'll just say, I'm so sorry. And I want to grab my last Medidose kit, and I assume there has to be some kind of anesthesia of some kind in there. I want to knock out German.
Normally, I would ask Jeremy to make a roll, but as Jeremy walks out, and Chidi, you all but fall upon Jeremy, and you just feel his body just go limp in your arms as the anesthesia just washes over. Jeremy, as you look up in the direction of Chidi, your vision goes in and out and in as darkness just slowly begins to move across your vision. Slowly, darkness. And Chidi looking down. You blink. You blink. You blink again and you wake, the creaking hull of your ship's quarters echoing all around you. But this is not your bed, this is not your room, this is not your apartment. This is alien and yet altogether familiar. Because as you look out of the circular window to your left, you see it. The cold, dark vacuum of space, and the cold on your leg and in your room and on your blanket. And as you sit in this empty room with a flickering halogen bulb, you stand and you move over towards the door, and the door opens, and you make an agility check, and you move to one side as Izzy stands there. And hey, oh man, come on, it's briefing.
Yeah, I could really do with a coffee.
And as he thrusts it into your hand, and as you drift once more, you realize you cannot actually remember how you ended up on this ship. There are memories, of course. You remember walking down the stairs, you remember seeing Talia. Jeremy, you remember your daughter. Hester, you remember Victor. And Ilma, you remember your mother. You sit there around the briefing room, around the table, as Jeremy all goes dark and Chidi's face disappears from you. Chidi, as you look at your friend, uncertain of when they shall wake up. Ilma, you look at nothing. There is only darkness around you. As Hester, you stand in the middle of a wide open room. A fickle bird lands upon your shoulder. Until next time. Thank you all very much.
God damn it, Ed.
Yes.
God damn it.
Mwah! Yes.
That was good.
Very good, guys.
Have come to the realization I don't like killing players. That's not fun. I don't enjoy that.
Whoa! It took you
It
that
was
long to find
good.
out. You had to just
No,
wait
it
went through all of them.
Great.
That's right, the players kill themselves. Let's be
Technically, you
honest here.
didn't kill them because there's a time loop, so they're alive again. So you're
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Did the damage.
Whoa. Brutal.
Look,
Lovely.
Thank you all so
German
much.
survived, and
Yes.
that's what I really
That's
matters.
what we want.
Really,
Exactly.
really think
We did
about
it.
Though I'm not sure about that.
Not sure.
It's
yeah.
a happy ending, question mark.
Thank you all so much for playing. Thank you so much for watching as well. I sincerely hope you have, if not enjoyed, at least experienced this with us. This has been Coriolis, the Great Dark. It is an incredible system. I sincerely hope that we have done enough to pique your interest. Please go check out the Quick Start. It is an incredible system by Free League Publishing, who, for my money, are producing some of the best role-playing games out there at the moment. They are incredible. Go check out their work. There's also Tales from the Loop, The One Ring. Alien is incredible as well. The Electric State has recently been released. All of these are incredible. Go and check them out. As for Euphoria, you can check out more incredible streams right here. You can follow all of the socials down below. But before we go, let us go round one final time and tell everyone where we can meet our incredible cast. Drak, where can people find you?
Oh, I'm or Drakoniques, and you can find me on all socials at Drakoniques. That's Drakoniques. I do everything, anything TTRPG related. So actually play producing, performing, the podcast. I write TTRPGs. So if you're interested in any of those things, just follow me on some social, probably Blue Sky right now, to see what I'm doing at any given moment.
Lovely. And Fiona.
Hello. Well, when I'm not faced with a vision of myself from both the future and just Ed playing me, which is absolutely terrifying, highly would recommend. You can find me on What Am I Rolling, which is a twice monthly tabletop RPG one-shot podcast where we do lots of different RPG systems and interviews with game designers. If you're like, I don't know, I hear the big dragon's okay and it's their birthday, and you're like, sure, try out the DM's Book Club, which is a weekly book club podcast where we talk about some Dungeons and Dragons and discuss how we might include that lore, make it accessible to everyone. We read the books, so you don't have to. So that's What Am I Rolling and the DM's Book Club, wherever you listen to podcasts. Thank you very much.
And Kash.
Thank you, everyone. I'm Kash. I have been playing German in Rue, and I had lots of fun with him. If you want to find anything that I do besides Coriolis, I think you can find my link tree somewhere and check out what else I do. I think I have to give a heads up for it, though. Most of it is in German, but maybe you'll find me on Euphoria in the future. Let's see. I would love to.
And finally, Darcy, where can people find you?
You can find me here, exclusively here behind the scenes, because I quit now. I can't play games anymore. They've been ruined for me. You may find me occasionally in the GM chair attempting to be that good and tell that tight a story into episodes, but yeah, we're here to produce content that uplifts and platforms incredible talent such as you see on your screen right here within the EU and the UK. We have Creator Pitch probably open to the public by now. If not, you may find it in our Discord. We have a lovely Discord community where we often talk about the intricacies of European languages and other such incredibly interesting things. We've got a lot of content coming up. Please stick to the socials. Keep an eye out. Come and support us. Come and make friends. Come and chat. If you've got a game and you're based in the UK and EU, come tell us about it and maybe we can get it on the air. That would be really great.
And in the meantime, like I say, follow Euphoria, follow Free League, and follow your instincts into the Great Dark. It'll go great. In the meantime, stay safe. We love you very much, and we'll no doubt see you soon.